Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik again, and this is a game War in the Pacific Inwards Edition. This is my play by evil match against Xargun. He is Allied Commandant for me, the Empire of Japan. This is Scenario 1 on game version 26B. And this is now also the 1st February 1942, new months, new luck. And hopefully a little more action. Good, still unloading a little more supplies. In catching more empty bases in the Philippine Sea. Yeah, and I simply take everything what is possible, and if it's free and empty, then why not? So I can make sure there's no one hiding. I will not defend these islands, but if I know that the allies are coming to take this kind of dot bases, then I assume there is something. Or at least there was something. Yeah, the Dutch subs still patrolling around Balikpapan, and I have to step forward and now really take Balikpapan before I want to go to Java. So in the next days I have to pass this Dutch submarine blockade. But first we have counterattacks in China every day again. And there's one flag kill. Really every day the same. So my carriers are closing in on Sydney, but still too far away from a strike today. And I sent some of my bombers to create some damage in the spaces and to monitor the reaction if maybe enemy fighters will move in, or if how fast their damage will be repaired, simply to get some feedback how aggressive Kilroy Xargun will defend the spaces. yeah, this bombardment I don't need really, so I can switch it off. Bombardments here, some small success, and some British Burma base force unit is here. Get kicked out. Okay, but they're moving northeast, so I must catch them once more and force them to surrender. 1E. Pin down bombardments, empty bases. Still disabled only, but not destroyed. And nothing more, so again, a very inactive turn. But for me, yes, I mean 90% of the stuff is still in the background, logistics, shipping stuff forward, and all of this. So I more or less prepare my troops for Balikpapan and then soon after also for Java. The campaign in the Philippines is nearly over. Good, air losses today again 3. Okay. Today also 1 pilot dead and still no ship sunk. So there was no battle, so there's no change. Nothing I really have to say here in China. Only that my units arriving and I'm not sure. Next turn, yeah, maybe next turn we have here the battle with with the Chinese Red Army a little more. And my heavily depleted and damaged scout unit, armor car unit, they already get an upgrade to Tanketten, so they're not more armored cars. Already got some equipment back. Even so far away, that is a lot, of course. This is the game rules. That yesterday everything was destroyed, and today already have some vehicles ready to fight again. I mean, or it's good Japanese efficiency. Okay. Nothing really else to show and talk about in China. Burma is really now only this 2 dot bases or 3 dot bases plus 1 smaller mini base I have to take before I can officially say, and here's one more, that all of Burma is under Japanese control. But normally this is the last base. I need this dot base and this main base to actively run and use this rail. That is important. The others are not really so important. So I get additional or new update information or pictures from the situation is still the same. 2 units are here. Nothing to really fight me. Even a Navy Guard unit can take on this, so I will simply try this. In worst case, I lose this task force, but these are all low value ships, more or less. And I can try to land here. Of course, I expect some maybe Navy attacks, but from here to here, this is a range of 4, and this is a range of 8. So I can use drop tanks to Akyab to support the landing force, and I can use a local long range cap from this direction. So I have 2 air wings. The 1 air wing is here, and this is the second air wing. They all have skill level 70, so they are ready. These are my standard fighter, 70, 70, 70. I think this is okay. This is all what you can get out of training. And this air wing is very similar, 73, 71, 70. So the airframe is now the limitation. Not that the Oscars are the best airframes, but it's enough to intercept incoming Wellington bombers or something like this if they don't have too high numbers of escorts. And the British, I think, they don't have really good escort fighters this early because the Hurricanes, they are good, but they don't have the range. Buffaloes with drop tanks maybe have the range. And I don't think that the allies, British have something else now this early. Good. I also prepare, yeah, I can see here the Dutch submarines. Here at least 3 or 4 Dutch submarines are operating here and trying to intercept ships. Yeah, why not? My invasion fleet is coming. This is Navy Guard units, and I will make a mistake, and you can already see this here. I have this setting, and what will happen is more or less the ships will go down here, go down here, go down here, and then this is official a land hex, and I forgot to change this one to do not unload. I make it with any other task force, like here, do not unload, and here is also I think the other, no, the others are first coming here. They always have do unload, do not unload, do not unload, but for some reasons I forgot to switch it here, not this one, the other one, and my guys will arriving here and then unload, bloop. And this cost me 2 days more or less to pick them up again. But first I have to see if I can bypass or battle the way through this Dutch submarine blockade. And my lure operations are not working. I tried simply to get a reaction, but nothing will happen. I check, or I had these airstrikes on different Dutch bases, creates here some bomb. I see only 2 scout airplanes are here in position. Here's nothing. Here was only also some, I think here was a little more. The scout information is a little too old, the detection level. My army is also marching up the mountain. Maybe in 2 days I can attack here and hopefully maybe defeat all of the Americans in one clean, fast strike. And then this will be over. This is really the last island. And then we have here only this last base and one small American leftover force. This is somewhere outside in nowhere. So the Americans or the Australians still holding here the jungle hex, but not move forward. So long. And I am now on my in striking range to Sydney. I have so far no detection. I have here some early warning ships. More or less they are here for getting detected to see how the Australian Air Force will react to this ship. But I see no reaction. So I guess I can move in strike range and see what is the situation in Sydney, because I don't really know what is there. I have really no idea. So we will hopefully see some action tomorrow. And the rest is only logistic and shipping. So if you play Japan, of course, always make sure that you upgrade your equipment. I mean, the LS must do the same. If you are now in February, then always keep in mind that you have your you have here your ships. In February 42 you have already some ships in upgrade earlier on also, but so you get here this destroyers. These are second class destroyers, so I don't really use them for frontline duty. But I get here already the upgrade for February 42, means I get now anti-submarine equipment. Before they have none of this. But more important is, you have these 2 light cruisers, 10 Euro class light cruisers. They're also getting an upgrade. The upgrade itself is useless, I would say. But you must start this upgrade. Then immediately you can change them, convert them to anti-aircraft cruisers. And that is much more powerful. And the Japanese, they don't have anything else, so they have only these 2 light cruisers up to 44, and first in June 44, mid of 44, you can upgrade some other light cruisers to this anti-aircraft equipment. So this makes sense to always upgrade them, and this needs 186 days, so a half year. But the platform is, I mean, not super powerful, but at least you get here destroyer guns. and this will provide some anti-aircraft. And again, these are heavy flak guns, and they will they will provide anti-aircraft fire for the fleet, the task force. Not only for defending their own ship. So means you have to first start the upgrade to the February 42, and then you can convert the ship. Fine. And then you can immediately stand it down because you don't must keep it in shipyard. Oops, another one. So you must think a little, and because it needs 186 days, this is hard coded. It makes sense to have this ship already end of January in port where you have a shipyard, and then you can immediately change to upgrade and then to conversion, and then you have this ship. Similar to the destroyer, so you must always plan a little ahead, that you don't wait and then, oh, I can already make a upgrade 3 months ago. I would always try to keep the ships you have on the best technology level, because the Japanese have always weaker technology at the end. Good, anything else? Because this is a new month, I don't know if, there wasn't too much activity. So, well, the air losses are campaign now exactly 253 each side reported, and these are two numbers, so we are 1-to-1 kill ratio. What is, I would say, okay, but not good, of course. But this is heavily related to Singapore killing my airplanes, and Xargun is not fighting me. So I can only say that Buffaloes are still the most killed airplane, but then you have already here army bomber, army bomber, army bomber. And you can see the flag losses. So 50% is flag losses, and the ops losses are, I think, also 50% related to flag. So the amount of aircraft lost over Singapore is really high. This is why I don't like this. So in my next match, I would really say, I did this on purpose. I really try to achieve the victory of Singapore with the minimum forces the Japanese sent originally there. And I will take Singapore similar to the time frame the Japanese did, and in reality this is still fast. But for the game it is slow. It's much better if you have the city, I think, mid of January. Anyway, so these are the air losses, nothing too special here. We can check it, but there's really nothing special. Yeah. Ship sunk on the Japanese side. I can at least say I lost nothing really important. Fuji, Momi class, APD values were very low, not really important. One good cargo ship, and the two AMCs. The AMCs are really the high value stuff. So, nearly no losses on the Navy side. My pilots' losses are not high, but I also was not able to achieve really kills on the Allied side. Good. Also, ship sunk, Allies missing. Again, this is fog of war. I'm not so sure if this is all true. Still a little too early. After 3 months, everything is true. So far, I still see only... Again, for me, I was not able to really inflict high casualties on military equipment. I took some tankers out and some APs, some subs, but nothing too special. A lot of smaller ships, but they don't really count too much. So, ship sunk loss 8-1 is okay. Ground losses is also okay. Early on, I would say nothing too special. Good. My industry situation in Tokyo, it is getting better. I have now here 50,000 supplies. So this is normally the minimum amount I try to keep in Tokyo before I start to ship supplies out to support my armies at the front line. And resources is still again over 1 million. And 1 million is the minimum you need, I would say. So 1.5, 1.67 is fine. Nearly 1 million crude oil, and the fuel is also good and stable. I would not really take out fuel out of Japan. That makes no sense because you consume here fuel. So if you want to ship out fuel to locations, find it somewhere else, but not in mainland Japan. I use primarily the oil and fuel out of Port Arthur. So far I have here still fuel. Of course 100,000 I will keep maybe in Port Arthur to also have fuel in mainland China for my heavy industry, but I think up to 100,000 I can go first. And then I will see how the situation will change over time. And crude oil, maybe I also can go to 100,000. The crude oil I can bring to Japan to later crack it down or to fuel. So yeah, I talk about the situation. So the last step what I can discuss is industry. The repair is done. There's nothing more I will repair for heavy industry. You can see I upgraded some equipment all over the map, get some nice numbers and get more output. Oil, there's Miri. I was a little unlucky. I think the damage was 178 or something. So I would say 20 to 25 was destroyed. Refinery and oil, so I have to repair it. The rest was fine. So I took the oil in Burma. I took the oil in Tarakan. I think there was 88, so very light damage only, and the rest is okay. Also Xi'an was, I think, not damaged, more maybe one. Engines are coming fine. I have here this one H32 factory. It is a little less, but it's always, I don't know where you want cut corners. You don't have enough factories for producing engines, I would say, but yeah. So in my Kilroy game I go double on 32, in this game I go double 33. So I have 135, 188, 175 and 290. And of course this is always related to what you're producing. I try, because Xargun is so passive, I see no need to really push anything up. I really only invested heavily in Oscars, because Nate is simply really not a frontline fighter. And now it's February and I never use Nates for frontline duty. And Oscars have also the benefit that I will normally develop and use R&D for every Oscar on the line, so I can always upgrade it for free. So all supplies I invest in these two factories is not waste. All supplies I invested in zeros will be waste later, because I cannot upgrade this factory more. It's simply not possible, because the upgrade path is oh no, I can't do it here. But you must have the I better show this here again. You can go to aircraft replacement pool, then you can always see your airframe, the active airframe you have, and then you can see the upgrade path. The next step of this zero is Senbuko. And no one will make R&D for Senbuko, because Senbuko is I mean, you could do it, but I think it's waste. So this means I cannot upgrade these factories. I must first develop this airframe. And yeah, this is why I will more or less say I keep the 60, I develop the A6M5, then I build up the factories for A6M5. Then I maybe hold this production, because I don't need these airframes more. And then I will make a decision if I also produce the A6M8. And then maybe I can change this factory to the A6M8. I don't know up to now, but again, all supplies and upgrades I invest in this factory early on are in the long run lost. Similar to all of this other equipment. There's no upgrade more coming for this. I would still say that B6 is much better than B5. The same for D3. Too small bomb load. D4 dive bombers are much better. So, yeah. A&D is also looking okay. Make sure that you have always at least your 10,000, better 12,000, 13,000. Then you get your numbers. Of course, these numbers are always related to luck. You can see that for some reason some are only at 10 and others are 21. And they start more or less at the same. So this is a nearly double the A&D tools ready already. So yeah, this is luck. But again, if you have even a 29, you still have no A&D. You need the 30. Good. And yeah, I feel one Helen factory is coming very near to switch on. Good. So, enough for today. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.